Amnesty International recently raised concerns over human rights over the construction of the Coastal GasLink pipeline. Mary Capron is a lawyer and a researcher, and she is familiar with the human rights implications that are occurring. Mary, thank you so much for joining us. Can you give us an update on what has been happening in Wet'suwet'en territory and the human rights concerns?
Yeah, thank you, Priscilla. So on January 7th, 2023, that marked the 4th anniversary since the first large-scale police raid on Wet'suwet'en territory. And as you know, Wet'suwet'en land defenders are frequently surveilled, they're harassed by the RCMP on their territory while they defend their land against the pipeline that's being built by Coastal GasLink, and it's a pipeline that the hereditary chiefs have never consented to. And most recently, 19 land defenders were charged with criminal contempt for violating an injunction order that was issued against them with regards to the pipeline. And in December, 5 land defenders pled guilty, not because they believe what they did was wrong, but because of the conditions that were placed on them, meaning that they're not able to go to their territory they wanted to end the criminal process against them. And the other land defenders will be facing trial later this fall.
Okay, so Amnesty International is calling for the federal and BC government and pipeline builders to stop the pipeline and speak with hereditary chiefs like yourself. Can you tell us why?
Yes, and so the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs have never consented to the pipeline, and this is something that they've been fighting for over 10 years. And so Amnesty International, we're working together with them to amplify their voices, because it's really the chiefs and the Wet'suwet'en Nation who are the ones who are calling for the stop the construction of the pipeline. And Amnesty is working together with them because it's a violation of their prior and informed consent to decide what happens on their territories. And also it's something that has climate implications, environmental implications, and also greatly affects sort of the livelihood and the culture of the Wet'suwet'en.
Okay. Also, raising concerns over the RCMP and private security in the Wet'suwet'en territory.
Yes, exactly.
Now, you work on human rights in North America. What is your view on Canada's approach to upholding the rights of Indigenous peoples?
So in the case of the Wet'suwet'en and more broadly with Indigenous peoples in Canada, Canada has signed on to the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. And in fact, the provincial government of BC and the federal government have both passed this into domestic legislation. And so that declaration provides or sort of reaffirms the right of Indigenous peoples to make decisions about their territory, to make decisions about their culture. But as we can see with the situation and this situation facing the Wet'suwet'en, that both the federal and provincial governments are not respecting the rights of the hereditary chiefs to decide what's happening on their territory. And I would say that the federal and provincial government are also sort of going against the spirit of reconciliation and really working together with the hereditary chiefs and the Wet'suwet'en to discuss and to see sort of what should be happening with regards to the pipeline.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Mary.
Thank you so much.